to have a lot of it. 24 microseasons teaches us how to respect the natures. So we don't have to force the nature to produce double or triple. If 1/3 of the people on the planet learn how to eat, follows the 24 microseasons, that could solve our problem. Through my journey, I realized that mankind has managed to overcome what challenges nature has thrown at them with human ingenuity and resilience. These gems of ancient wisdom will continue to shape our common culinary legacy for years to come.
A centuries-old history gives us an understanding of where China's future lies. I'm Olivia Young, CNA, Beijing.
I am Kobankevich Thomas Maria. I go by the handle Bliss, and I play StarCraft 2 competitively. Esports isn't sports. Esports is esports. We want to see the best of the best go up against one another, and that's why we get esports. Most recently, I've participated in the SEA Games and clinched the silver medal for Singapore. It's definitely bittersweet for me winning the silver medal. Winning silver, I think it's good, but it's not what I set out to do. StarCraft 2 is a real-time strategy game. You start off with a bunch of workers and you get the resources to create buildings, and which then create your army, and you'll fight against another player. Whoever surrenders first loses, or whoever annihilates the entire base of the opponent wins. It's one of the highest APM games out there, actions per minute, which means that within 1 minute, your fingers and eyes probably have to move faster than any other game out there. A good analogy that I can give is, imagine you're sitting there at your office desk, and within 30 seconds, you have to reply an email, make a phone call, respond to your boss's insult, your colleague's demand, someone stealing your food, type on a keyboard, do an Excel sheet at the same time, all this within 30 seconds. That's your actions per minute. Every decision kind of creates or results in different scenarios, and you have to constantly adapt, and it's really in the moment. That's why real-time strategy. When it comes to practice and the multiple facets behind it, a lot of it is also outside of the game, whether it comes to nutrition, physique, or things that can hone in on your focus, peripheral vision, attention span. And go. Okay, I'm tired. Good job, man. That was about 30 to 45 seconds. Very good. Like, honestly, the warm-up was very interesting to me. I especially love it when it goes to the bottom left, because I'm very used to that. My mini-map in the game is always bottom left. Nice. And it's very common for in my game to have that kind of repetition.
I think it's all built on your determination, fighting spirit behind it. I think that's so very.
Especially when I when there was no timer, so it's like you just have to push. I don't believe that you need to be the best player in the world.
Bring our hands up, elbows by the side of the ribs.
You just need to be the better player in that series of 7 or in that 2 hours that you're going up against your opponent who's sitting right across the stage.
The goal is to quickly solve the problem and move on. Don't worry.
Okay. When you put yourself in a place like a martial arts or Krav Maga where it's so intense, you can kind of rehearse that same kind of adrenaline that you have in a tournament, and with that, prepare your body to be ready to absorb that amount of stress and intensity for your tournament. Oh, aggression. Oh, okay. It's interesting, but it makes sense. I mean, even if I were to play a tournament, it's like I need to practice,
Visualize, right?
Visualize, rehearse in my head, or else the moment this comes to me, I will never know how to react.
Okay.
There are also mental practices, so that when you go into the tournament with all that adrenaline, your mind is more focused than the other players.
You really defended yourself against the time. You saw?
Yeah, every little bit gives you a small edge when it comes to the tournament.
Breaking news.
Chanting for Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha to step down.
We will be seeing sporadic protests flare up from time to time again. Heat in other words.
37th ASEAN Summit.
Live events, analysis and perspectives.
Will really be seeing vaccines soon.
Imports, which were expected to grow slightly, contracted 2.1%.
News that matters. Asia Now, daily. On CNA. This is Asia Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jill Newbrunner. Here are tonight's top stories. Indonesia expands COVID-19 curves to more regions as the death toll soars. The aim is to prevent hospitals being overwhelmed. 2 UMNO politicians promoted as Malaysia's Prime Minister carries out a cabinet reshuffle. This follows speculation that their party was going to leave the ruling coalition. South Korea reports its biggest coronavirus surge in months. Authorities warn tougher measures could be imposed if the situation spirals. Singapore to reopen further as COVID-19 cases slow and vaccinations climb. It's also considering more freedoms for fully inoculated people. And Vietnam's Ho Chi Minh City told to prepare for tough COVID-19 movement curbs. The business hub is the epicenter of the country's outbreak.
I'm Dawn Tan. Also tonight, Sydney extends its COVID-19 lockdown by another week as the Delta variant continues its march. And the mental toll laid bare as Malaysia endures lockdown after lockdown.
I'm Elizabeth Neo with your Asia Business Update. More than $800 billion wiped off their market value as Chinese tech giants feel the pinch of a widening crackdown. Plus, AirAsia to take over Gojek's business in Thailand.
Indonesia has expanded nationwide coronavirus curbs to ease the strain on hospitals. The country is battling its deadliest wave of COVID-19. The new restrictions will apply to dozens of